I'm flying a drone in the back of a big truck. If the driver suddenly accelerates, what will happen to the drone? Will it fly to the back of the truck or just stay where it was because it moves forward with the air in the truck? If I have a fish swimming in a bowl and then I move that bowl, the fish doesn't slam to the back of the container, it moves forward with it. So if I have a drone hovering in a closed truck and we start to move the truck, does the drone just move forward with the truck or does it drift to the back? In this video, we're going to be exploring relative motion, doing experiments with a drone and then a neutrally buoyant balloon to see how objects in flight are coupled to their environment. For this experiment, I specifically chose a cheap drone that doesn't know where it is in space. It only kind of knows its height due to the pressure sensor in it, so it doesn't keep drifting up or down. But as for twisting or linear motion, I have to calibrate it to not move. It still drifts a little bit, but I can get it pretty close to hovering in place without controlling anything. It's gonna be tough flying this drone in the truck while it's moving. But I'll tell you what wasn't hard, browsing for a moving truck to rent so that I can fly a drone in it. That's because I used Opera. Opera is my new favorite browser. It has built-in free VPN and ad blocker. It doesn't log your activity or collect information. It protects you against tracking, crypto mining, clipboard hijacking, and malvertising. On top of its safety, it also has a great flow to it. I love Opera because I spend a lot of time browsing the internet, reading scientific papers, and learning from other online videos. I love that you can have floating videos that stay playing while you're browsing. And if you would like, you can check social media or play music without having to open a new tab, with no special extensions needed. You can organize and group your tabs based on context and save space by collapsing islands. And you can keep the tabs in separate workspaces and switch contexts in one click. Opera is designed to browse the internet while achieving other tasks. So if you want to check out Opera today, you can click the link in the description and start browsing securely. Now let's get back to the experiment. Okay, here's our fearless professional driver. I hope she doesn't kill me back there.
Flashbacks to when you jumped off the trailer.
It's very similar, but I am enclosed in a truck this time, so should be safer, I think. Let's do this. So right now the drone is hovering in place with a truck around it. So what happens when we start moving the truck? Will the drone slam to the back of the truck, pressed against the back wall, or will it move along with the truck? Pause and make your guess right now.
Hold on, okay, hold on. Okay, go.
So we can see when the truck accelerates forward, the drone moves to the back. What's interesting to note here though, is that yes, the drone moves to the back of the truck a little, but not that much. With no forward or back control, the drone somehow manages to keep up with the truck and then eventually just hovers like normal when we're up at a constant velocity.
So we're driving at a constant velocity right now, and it's just staying right here.
But I didn't actively speed it up on the controller, so how did it get up to speed? As the truck moves forward, the air inside it is dragged along, which eventually pushes the drone forward, helping it keep up with the truck. But now let's look at something a little different. A drone's actively flying to stay in the air. So let's try something that doesn't have to throw air down in order to stay afloat. I have a helium balloon here, and normally if you let a balloon go, it floats to the ceiling. But I don't want it to touch any part of the truck. I want it to float perfectly in the middle of the truck. In order to do that, I'm gonna make it neutrally buoyant. To do that, I'll add the exact amount of weight to the balloon that cancels out the buoyant force of the helium. It's not as hard as you think to do this. You just add some string or tape to the balloon and then grab the spot right where it touches the ground. And that's the exact weight that it needs to be neutrally buoyant.
This is perfect now. Look at that. It just stays right there. This is so weird. Look at it just stay right in the middle there. This is perfect.
Okay, now we have something that isn't flying, but it's just going to float in the air. The weight of the balloon plus everything that I've added to it is about 17 grams. So let's see what happens when we accelerate and decelerate with this balloon floating. What do you think will happen to this 17 grams of mass now that we don't have propellers throwing wind everywhere? Pause the video right now to guess.
Okay, go forward. Doesn't go anywhere. It literally doesn't move at all. Okay, get ready. Go. Whoa. It doesn't go anywhere. Okay, stop. Holy cow, that is so cool. Okay, let's go again. Okay, go. This stays exactly right here. Okay, stop. Stop. It didn't move at all. It's right here, same place.
What's weird is you can see that the balloon is being jostled around and the heavy end of the balloon swings forward and back.
Okay, go.
But overall, the center of mass of the balloon doesn't move forward or backward at all. It almost looks like the balloon is stuck in this gel that's moving around with the truck.
Okay, you can stop. Whoa.
Why did this happen? Why did the drone drift backward when we moved the truck forward, but the balloon didn't? It's not like the balloon doesn't have any mass to move backwards. It had 17 grams that could have shot to the back, but why didn't it? The reason that the drone moved to the back is because an object at rest will stay at rest unless there's an outside force on it. As we start to move forward, there's almost no forward force on the drone, so the drone moves to the back. In reality, as the truck moves forward, the air inside it is dragged along, which eventually pushes the drone forward a bit, helping it keep up with the truck. But with the balloon, there's something different happening. The balloon isn't flying, it's floating. The balloon's average density is the same as the air around it. So that means that it will move the same as the air in the truck. So what happens to the air in the truck? Well, when we start to move, the air wants to stay where it was as well. But there's nowhere for it to go since it takes up the whole truck. So the truck pushes on the air in the back, which pushes on the air in front of it, and so on. So the entire bulk of air moves in one big lump all together with the truck. Since the balloon is the same average density, it moves with the air around it, being pushed forward by the air behind it and pulled by the air in front of it. You can see how it moves with the air in the truck if we open up the back of the truck.
Okay, go.
With the back open, there's a circulation of air.
Whoa, it came back in.
With the air at the top of the truck moving out the back, and then air in the bottom is moving in.
That was cool.
What's really interesting is that the balloon's average density is the same as the air, but we can see that the top with the helium is less dense and the bottom is more dense. So when we accelerate, that means that the lighter than air part should move forward because the air wants to move to the back. Helium moves forward when you accelerate. That's why when you drive, the helium balloons move in the opposite direction of where you go when you get pushed in the car. Okay, accelerating. 3, 2, 1. But then the bottom of the balloon is more dense than the air, so it gets thrown to the back. But they're connected, so the result of this is that any acceleration causes the balloon to twist instead of move linearly.
Okay, go.
Now we can understand why the fish didn't move. It's the same average density as the water, so it moves the same as the water. So being neutrally buoyant will save you from any impacts during a crash. But surprisingly, you can still get hurt because your internal organs are not all the exact same density. So they'll try to move around inside your body according to the acceleration. So even if you didn't go flying anywhere when you get stopped, you can still get badly injured. So be nice to your pet fish when you're taking it home from the pet store. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.